Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. I'm your host, Will Pharaoh. We are back again, the safe haven for entertainers, comedians, entrepreneurs, gangsters, all those cats, even mobsters when I start meeting some more of them. This is a safe place to talk about comic books, comic book movies, and just all around nerd stuff. This is the safe place for it. And of course, I got my homies, Young Deuces, Dion DC Lack here today. And we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. We're breaking this into sections so much that we're going to have CT joining us a little bit later on because we're talking DC news. DC news, man. James Gunn dropped a big announcement on what the DC future is going to be, and we have got to discuss it once CT gets up in here. But we're going to start off with one of my first segments, as y'all know, except for yourself, Deuce. I've broken this into segments now. This is a real legit show. It's not just an hour of talk.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? We got segments like our hot topic of today. And our hot topic is going to be leading to a little game that we are going to be playing in just a minute. But today's hot topic, Avatar 2, Wakanda Forever, is now on Disney Plus. People call it Wakanda Forever, but I say Avatar 2, Wakanda Forever.
Funny.
Because y'all seen it.
Man. It's mad similarities.
Mad similarities. There's a whole bunch of black people getting chased by blue people. Those blue people also getting chased, and somehow there's always a white man involved. And Julianne Dreyfus is in this as well, just with a blue hair streak that don't make no fucking sense. But she out here. But fellas, I gotta ask. I know y'all did go to the theaters to see Wakanda Forever. So I gotta know rewatch value. Now this on streaming services. Are y'all gonna be running Wakanda Forever back?
I watched it yesterday. I ran it back too.
Y'all midnighted it?
Yeah. Well, while I was editing, I was like, let me throw it on and run it back. And yeah. But I fast forward all the dialogue. I went right to the action scenes. I didn't do all that. But here's the what I don't want to be excited about. There was a site that I don't want to mention that usually finds the copyrighted version of the movie. So I watched that a lot when it first came out.
Okay,
like right after when the movie's in theaters.
Yeah,
and you'll see like the blurred copyright thing that they all want to.
Yeah.
So I watched that a couple of times, and I was like, all right, I got familiar with the dialogue, and I was actually into the action. So when it came in HD 4K, I watched it again with the, see if they added some deleted scenes or something like that. But
I think they do have some deleted scenes available for you to go check out in the extra features tab on the streaming service.
Yeah, because in my rewatch, I just realized I was like, yo, hey man, it's with Wakanda Forever. It's hard to call it a win because that fight. I forgot how much we won by the skin of our teeth in that fight.
The numbers on that boat of black people and blue people got real uneven.
And like I said, it technically, maybe I say it's the suit and the herb. I don't know, but sure, she got impaled. That thing went through her. I was like, yo,
yeah. What I didn't like is when we all see how powerful those water bombs are. Man, they put 600 up on that Noah Ark. Why did it not sink?
Well, probably because it's vibranium. I'm assuming the ship is made by vibranium.
Sure. At the same time, they're being swamped from all areas, and they still survived. Word, wow.
First off, also, I got to throw in there because we did talk about the good. So I like to call these parts our opportunities instead of the bad part. Opportunities of where it could have been better. That's what Apple taught me instead of when they tell us, instead of saying how you fucking up. It's like, here's your opportunity. Show up on time.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
I don't like that they didn't give Wales no action in this. I felt like that was kind of like fish races, because why didn't the whales knock that boat over?
Yeah, could have rammed it. Sharks could have did some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all rocking with the sea creatures like y'all Aquaman. So
well, hey, that maybe that's the difference between Namor and Aquaman. Aquaman, he weaponized the animals in the sea. Namor probably he doesn't. So maybe that's the difference.
So he just enslave them and make them ride on their backs.
Turn them into Uber drivers. That's what he did.
Turn them into straight Ubers, man.
Yeah.
I actually, what's funny is before we recorded this, I actually had just finished watching it too. I just noticed Angela Bassett cut her dreads.
Oh, you just noticed that?
I had just noticed that. I was like, yo, she got the little.
You know what? I think I just realized that too, because she always had the hat on. So I didn't realize she cut her dreads. Yeah, she showed it.
I remember when she was talking to Trevor Noah's character on The Voice.
Yeah.
Like, AI, yeah.
What's his name? Griot was and she had the little afro, and I was like, there it is.
There it is. There it is. Like I said, my still to this day though, I just feel like bro, they didn't have to kill Angela Bassett's character. I felt like our heart was already ripped out. Like, why are y'all ripping it out further? Like,
yeah.
They really brought us down, because when you watch that movie and when you're in the mix of watching the movie, like at that point, you truly feel defeated. You like, are we even going to win by the end of this movie?
Yeah, I feel you on that one. But I can see why they did it, because it's sort of like that same thing of like watching Tony Stark go. But unfortunately, we saw it very quickly between these two movies. It's like, yo, you have to see the new next phase of Wakanda. And so, like, people that's going to be led into that, it couldn't be led by Angela Bassett anymore. True. And so it was just like, yo, that regime, that dynasty had to fold and go, and then be able to leave, like, Shuri's character, be able to find out what's next for her.
Yeah.
But that leads us into our next segment of this show.
My entire family is gone. I am the queen of the most powerful country in the world. I cried again on that line right there.
Oh man, you felt the emotion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she was just sitting like this. She's what's her name? Okoye was like, let me go back out there and see if I can get her back. She was like this. You are stripped from your powers.
Hey, she was done at that moment. At that moment, she was like, I don't care what you say right now. My daughter is gone. So, like,
I love how everybody else on the side was kind of sitting there like, oh, she didn't get that memo. We got her. Oh, does she not know what's about to happen?
Right.
Because it said it on the email. You will be stripped.
The itinerary, like the whole
itinerary saying,
like, we all here for your stripping of your pot. We
didn't know they didn't tell you. Oh, my fault.
Hey, that's wild. Imagine if you get fired from your job and when you walk in, it's everybody at the job, but you don't know. And you're like, hey, so what we getting in today? And they like,
The funny thing is, she was in Chicago, right? Was in New York.
Chicago. Where is MIT? Boston?
Yeah. So she had to get back. So she was like, hey, Queen Mother, they took Shuri, they took Riri. I'm on my way back to kind of get some more people to help us out. They was like, help us out? Yeah. When she get here, whoop her ass.
The Dora Milaje looking like, she told us to jump you once you step on that boat. Right?
Like, imagine the rumblings at the lunch table. Like, oh, did you hear what Shuri did? Did you hear what happened?
She had to ride all the way home like this. They're gonna kick my ass. I got to come over the plan. She ran home like, what can I say? Ooh, I can say they jumped me. Ooh, they poisoned me.
Hey, you know what's fucked up though? She's sitting there in her head like, look, can't nobody get mad at me. That's some water-like figured beings. She came and jumped me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, I killed like 3 of them, and they came back to life.
And they got up.
They can't blame that on me.
See, that's why there ain't. You can tell that's what the American part missing. Because I'd have for sure clapped back at the Queen. Wait a minute now. Now I stabbed all three of these people. Okay, I'm talking about they supposed to be dead. Like they supposed to be taking naps, and they got back up. So do I not get no credit for that? I got hit with a water bomb off a bridge.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm still here.
There's so much you can say. You like they rode up on Wells. How was I supposed to? Who plans for Wells? Who plans for Wells?
If any of y'all can jump off of a well onto a bridge and it's like it ain't nothing, then y'all come up here today now and I resign. I throw my skill right now.
I can imagine her being like Dion's in Washington. Jake, get
Oh, you motherfucker! Oh,
Why?
none of y'all gonna side with me, Jake.
What's the other one?
Y'all gonna do this to me?
Okoye. Think y'all gonna let them do this? Okoye.
You gonna do this to the bald demon-headed serpent? Me?
I can swim fast. Namor ain't got shit on me.
Y'all know what it is? River Tribe program. All of y'all. All y'all going to the dock.
Backstroke.
All right.
Oh shit.
All right, y'all. Now let's get into our next segment, man. Okay, this is something I'm introducing to you, Dion. Deuces a little bit familiar with this, and it is called Phantom Fiction. Phantom Fiction, in my head, is like the lab that we go into and we create fix things that have been made, that we can improve things people haven't heard of, ideas that we just like to bounce around and just make into something. So hopefully one day, one of these big people come take it and we got the proof and we can sue shit out of them or then make them hire us to go work for them. Right. That's it. And this one is no different. So I want to know from y'all, we're talking about Wakanda Forever. So there had been talks that there was going to be a Wakanda series that was going to happen. So I want to know, what we're going to do in this Phantom Fiction segment is I want to know what kind of series what would be the best Wakanda type series based off of these are the questions we'll go off of. What time should it be in it? What time should it be set? Should it be a present day? Should it be in the future? Should it be in the past? Who should the series focus on? Or what should the series focus on? Also, appreciate that. Also, who will this tie into the MCU, or will this be something that's kind of like a standalone within the Marvel universe? And who would you like to see as a cameo or a reveal in this series?
So these are I'm ready. All right.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. I just want to get y'all opinion, and then we'll try to decide which one is the best one out of them. What time period would you want to see this Wakanda series take place?
So for me, with the choice that I'm picking, I would like to see. There's two options. I would really like to see a prequel before the events of Black Panther, but we can do in between movies as well for what the idea that I have.
Okay. So what time set are you going in again?
I'm going prequel before the events of Black Panther.
Okay, for the first one.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Dion, what about you?
I would love to see where the asteroid comes in.
Ooh. So you want to see the first Black Panther?
Yeah, let's see how it all came about. How did they treat it? How did they act? How did they build the whole city? Like the tribes, how they kind of came about.
That's Bashinga, right?
Yeah. I would love to see that, man. But the only problem is it won't connect to anything to the Marvel universe unless Bashinga comes back to help somebody in the third Black Panther or something like that.
It technically can. We'll get into that. I got ideas for yours on how we can connect.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in that same boat leaning towards Dion, something in the past. I'm a little bit forward though, so I want to be there after the comet hits and we already got like that first Black Panther there. because I want to see like how they come to all these tribes to get used to that. And because again, like all of these people were equal till this happened, and then that's what kind of made them come together, and then the Jabari split. So I want to see like where we are right then at that time when we got this new Black Panther. Turmoil is a little bit high, and you got some more drama to it and stuff like that. So I'm between that time.
So let me ask you this: when did the Black Panther in the comic books? When did it actually land? Like, was it during the time of like when white people was colonizing? Yeah, colonizing. Was it that?
I'm not 100% sure.
That would be fucked up. They didn't do nothing.
I'm not 100% sure because like,
well, in the cinematic one, it's 10,000 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They still ask for seeing their fellow countrymen being enslaved. They're like, hey, that's nothing to do with us. They ain't go all the way into the Wakanda.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, but I think the same thing can be said about like protecting your own when it comes to that. Like, it's just like too, it's the land. It's like it's not just about the people too. So it's like, they wanted the land and they couldn't take them from that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then during that time, if we thinking about the superheroes in general, I think the only ones that would have been active would have been the Eternals.
Yeah.
10,000 years ago, it would have had to be Eternals.
Yeah, Eternals would have been there. And I think that too, I think something that Deuces may have pressed on. So I'm gonna just kind of throw that out there. I think that's what can help that tie into the DCU. Can tie into the MCU is because it can backtrack to cameos like that, like the Eternals, or who else was there during that time that may lead to some stuff. Because it's like, what if there's an already thing that's kind of like Hydra? Because we don't know what Red Skull got Hydra from. Like, no offense to him, he don't look that bright to have started that. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like he had a book or a reference or something around that time. And then too, like, who's to tell what mutants were there during that time?
True. And what I was actually going to lean into was the ancestral planes, like getting into that ancestral planes about what it is, the creation of it, when people learn about it, how to tap into it. Like that's a way it can tie into the MCU as well.
Even the Moon Knights, because around that time we still had those avatars that were being selected.
You're right.
So we could also jump into that type of stuff of like actually seeing these gods, because it looks like from watching Moon Knight and watching a lot of these other stuff, even like with Wakanda Forever, it's like the gods themselves have these avatars. Like Namor is like the feathered serpent god's avatar, and he's drawing his power from him. So it's like even seeing them interact with these people, like we saw Moon Knight's folks.
We also forget about the 10 rings and that whole scenario. Yeah, so there was a whole lot. So because but mine will be a little bit further up, because I would love to see the rise of M'Baku.
Ooh.
That would be the series that I would like to see. I can see
that. Okay, so we are split between semi future, present with back in the past, and I think we could create two of those.
True, but if for the game purposes, you're where you and Dion is landing, I'm definitely willing to flesh that out more.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go with the time frame of in the past, like 10,000 years ago. We're between the time of when the meteor hit and a little bit after when the meteor hit. Mm-hmm. So we delve into that time. Okay. So who do you think the story should focus on, or what should it focus on? Should it be particularly onto one person, like how it was with T'Challa, or should it be kind of about an ensemble cast like Wakanda Forever?
I think all the tribes. I think they should have the same tradition of like who's going to be king of Wakanda, and then just the breakup of the five. Is it five of them?
I believe so. The river tribe, the red one with the dreads, the one Okoye is from, the Jabari.
Yeah, there's five.
Yeah, and then the people that Shuri and them are with.
Yep, the river tribe, the mining tribe, the merchant tribe, the border tribe, and the Jabari tribe, or it's just the mountain tribe.
Yeah.
I think the 5 of them the first episode should just be about the division of the 5, but also working together, some sort of mediated person that kind of be like, we did not build this up, blah, blah, blah. Then there's always a stubborn person that was like, you know what, we're better than them. It's showing like the friction between all the tribes.
Yeah.
And then right when the episode ends, you see that meteor coming down. And then just like, you know, really cause division, but also unity of like, what is this? We're blessed. Like something happened for them to be like to receive this sort of blessing, but also you know, should we keep it? Should we share it with the world? Should you know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even mind that as a season finale though.
Wow.
Like yeah, because even now he talk about like we on some now like some Game of Thrones type stuff.
Ooh.
So it's like we're seeing these different tribes, what they bring, how they act, and how they respond to stuff. And then right at the end, it's like that's your big bad, this meteorite.
Yeah, because you know what? In season 2, because knowing that the Jabari tribe doesn't subscribe to the Black Panther rulings, like they're the only tribe that are really because they follow the white gorilla, you know. So now season 2 is the Black Panther, the first Black Panther trying to establish the rule, the lay of the land, but then that division between the 4 tribes and the Jabari tribe who still has not, you know, come accustomed to the new ruling of the land.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's
Yeah. And then that could be season 3 where it's the battle between the Jabaris and them.
Yeah.
Now you see them big fights because it's like now we retreating to the mountains.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, we don't want to be a part of this. Like we get it. We see what y'all trying to do. We just don't mess with it. We out.
Ooh, this is good. Now we can show them like we're building up Wakanda. We're showing the resources of what it is and how valuable it is. Should we go out? We should have them like an early Killmonger person that's kind of like, man, we got to get this. We can sell this. We can make so much money. Like let's figure out how to keep this to us.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
and to hear the slavery that's happening. Whoo! Of like, should we help? Should we help? It's like, that's not our fight.
That's not our fight. Yeah.
That's a great story, man.
Yes,
that is. Oh my God, that is a really amazing story because, like, even when you wrap up the whole series, I mean, eventually we see the Jabari tribe does work with the 4 tribes. They still don't conform to the traditional like rulings of the Black Panther, but they still is Wakanda forever. So the whole series finale, when we finally wrap it up, is that whatever deal is like, look, we are still going to be in these mountains. However, you know what I'm saying? When y'all need us, we here. You know, like
And then don't forget too, based off of the comic book, if that's what they want to throw in there too, you could lead into a season 4, season 5 before we get to that part, because that meteor is supposed to have come from the Jabari tribe.
Oh yeah,
the Shatari. I'm sorry,
Shatari.
Shatari. And so one of them seasons could be they actually come down to try to take that stuff back from them, and now you got this battle between Wakanda and the Shatari.
Ooh, and then foresighting Wakanda forever, you could have wherever the other meteor fell at the same time. Because remember, the whole reason that vibranium is in both with you know, the Talons and Wakandians is because the meteor didn't just land in one place. You know, there's vibranium everywhere. So like you don't even have to go deep into that. That can be one of those Easter egg moments, like, oh snap, oh, there go the other one. Like, oh
yep. And then now, so that can also lead now into the next question, which is how will we tie this into the MCU? And I think you gave a good string on that as well, is these different places these meteorites landed. And so the fact that we did have one land in the ocean, we had one land here, what's not to say that doesn't connect them? Because if we're going like, what, 10,000 years, what does that put us? Is America established by then? No, right?
I don't know how old is America.
No, I don't think we're in. I don't think
we're in tens of thousands.
No.
246 years ago seems like when well, no, that's the July 4th. Hold on. I have no clue how long.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way. It can.
250 years. Yeah, we got a while.
Yeah, but it can tie into like how you said the Eternals and all this other stuff that can help connect and establish why they don't want to mess with them, or why they decide that they don't want to be bothered with them and stuff like that, because of what they're seeing and everything. And then you can even go back to like tying it in with history and stuff like that. To where it's like when China like started discovering like all of that stuff, like we can dive into those cultures and everything. So like how y'all said, like the 10 rings, finding the 10 rings and all of that stuff like that, finding everything that needs to be found and whatnot. All of that. I think that's another way that you can be able to tie it in the MCU of showing like from our celestial side to like the eternal side, you also have these pillars of history that was left because of them, and then even showing some of them like going with outside of Wakanda. So it's just like, we're gonna say the first ones going on these missions and stuff like that, like seeing them establish like their actual secret service and stuff, their government and everything like that. Like I think that's would be a great way to help tie in there because they can teach some of them people. Like imagine them teaching espionage to the British in Europe.
Like that. Ain't even how was the Russian dude formed? Remember Black Panthers? I'm sorry, Black Widow's father. I thought that wasn't that the super soldier serum too as well?
Yeah.
Like an altered version of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How many altered versions do they have? A whole bunch, because technically Bruce was a super soldier serum went wrong. Like there was a whole once Captain America hit once he hit, everybody was like, "Ooh, I want that," and everybody tried to make it.
Yep. Same thing. Red Skull took the serum.
Yeah.
What it is, then they gave it to the Black Captain America, and then now his grandson has it within his DNA, so that's how he becomes Patriot and stuff. But I think too, one of the things I noticed that with the serum, what they always kept tying it in was that serum brings out the person you are.
Yeah.
And so I don't think nothing was ever wrong with the serum. I think the person that made the serum and how they worked on it perfected it. There was no way to calculate what it would do to the human that it is sense. Because each one of us is different.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because remember, Captain America, he wasn't even a viable candidate. Remember, they didn't want him. They're like, fam, you this little scrawny dude. Like, fam, we ain't about to waste this serum on you. But then he ended up being the best candidate.
Yep, because he had heart. So the serum focused on his heart and gave him what he needed. I mean, same thing though with Red Guardian. He had pride for his country. And so that's what that focused on, which is strength and admiration and stuff like that. And even like for Red Skull, you were psychotic. So it brought out the true psychotic of you.
That is a wild ass side effect. That's one of those ones like, hey, do I get any compensation for this? Like, I'm literally a Red Skull. Like
I ain't got no nose, man. Like
I ain't got no nose. I ain't got no nose, man. Like this can't be what I signed up for.
I didn't ask to hop in.
And why was he prepared to take off his face? He said, "I am not who you thought I was." He said. Did he rehearse that?
He was
at that point. He embraced it. He was in the mirror like, "Oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna have my regular face on. I'm like, ha ha." Like,
you already know. Before when Captain America rolled up, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is so. I can't wait. I'm gonna let him punch me." And then it's like, come on. Ooh, I'm telling you, Zoloft, watch. It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna just peel that motherfucker off like.
I see a lot of body shots, Steve. You want to hit my face by any chance?
It looks like you have fallen into my trap, Steve. And then what was funny is how you know that nigga ain't shit because he struggled with it.
Hey, in those moments, I wonder, like, now you think about it, like, there be moments like where superheroes or villains, they got like sayings and words. Like, they never show them practicing it, like, oh, right. In the mirror. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm a hide in the back, but then when they say something about the dark, I'm gonna walk out like, yeah. Even when it comes to goons, they have to rehearse like the signals of like That means break his legs.
Yeah.
Or this means,
Or do anybody
take us
ever
home.
do anybody ever have like a recap moment, like when like when Bane said, like you embrace the darkness, I was born from it. Like do we get back in the car like, hey, I snapped with that one, didn't I? Hey.
Like, did you hear that nigga? That motherfucker say, you really adopted the dog. I was born in it. Molded by. Did he pick that motherfucker up and broke his back and just left him there?
Lights came back on.
Yo, me and Earl picked that little Batman dude up. We were like, yeah, you done, buddy. You is done. What you got on your utility belt? I heard you got rats. Heard you having all kind of gadgets. I wonder they be doing stuff like that.
Which Batman was it when they tried to take his mask off and he had like a little booby trap?
Oh, The Dark Knight with the Joker.
Whoa!
How do you have a booby trap on your mask, yo? How do your face not get burnt off?
Like who thought about that? It was just like, yo.
How do you not have scars right here from the electricity?
Right? I know that whole mask heated up and you good. You good. You all right? That's it, huh? This dude got knocked out.
I am punching in your teeth, man. I am punching you. I am pissed. Oh, and then when you Bruce Wayne, I'm like, you the guy who's snagging to, so you must be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I know you, Batman. You got that whole. You got this little red ring around you, just like a little cow that be being worn.
Do any of y'all watch the Harley Quinn show?
Oh, I love that show,
bro.
It's so good.
When Joker found out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. His reaction was, he was like, Bruce Wayne, and then everybody was like, oh my God. He's like, no, hold on. He was like, hey, I invested in one of your inventions and it ain't come out yet. Where's my car at, Bruce? like
yo, you know what be some funny shit? I noticed everybody be so disappointed when they find out who Batman is in these series. Yeah. Every villain just be like, oh, what? Bruce Wayne?
The billionaire?
You the one been causing me all these problems?
Well, because he's also in the public eye. So you're like, nigga, I see you every day and I ain't put this together.
Nah, that ain't it. They mad because it's like, y'all, this is white privilege like a motherfucker. No wonder I can't beat you. Yeah. I'm fighting a billionaire.
Yeah.
No wonder you could just be in the dark, just hiding right there. You got plenty of time. You rich. I gotta teach these goons all these signals to just. Meanwhile, you in here just got everybody building your gadgets and throwing stuff around. I'm so disappointed. I thought, man,
lavish ass parties and shit. Like
I thought you was one of us.
Like my, like I said,
my you was one of us
is in an abandoned acid warehouse. Like you are a billionaire. Why are you worried about
a whole cave? A whole cave. You're like, I thought you was one of us, brother. Be like, man, my parents died. Oh, who gives a shit? You rich. I fell in Nevada fucking acid, and it was partially your fault. You're like, I ain't even gonna fight you no more. I'm gonna just sue you. That's it. That's how you beat
I'm
Batman.
Tie your ass up in litigation. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sue your ass. That's how you beat the Dark Knight.
That would be funny. They took all Bruce Wayne's money. And now he can't spend money on his gas for his Batmobile. I gotta go green.
Quick, somebody give me some banana peels. I'm almost on E.
Let me charge up my little conveyor belt thing.
Yo, imagine. Be like, Batman, we need you. You gotta give me 4 hours. I ain't charged the Batmobile last night.
What's up, man?
I gotta let it charge.
Oh shit!
Oh, Alpha
running around. Anybody got a charger? Anybody got a charger?
Anybody got a charger?
Anybody got a
Alpha
charger?
Jazz was watching Sopranos last night and totally forgot to charge that shit.
Oh my goodness, man! But that was a great fan of fiction. I know we're still waiting on CT to see if he gonna pop in here, but man, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the main topic today, which is the DC news. Now, if you're a fan of Straight Out of a Comic Book, you already we've been seeing DC take some real hits, man. It's It been treated like a domestic violence dispute, man. It ain't been no good signs of recovery until now. All right, James Gunn came out on Twitter, Facebook's live, all of that stuff to be able to announce that we have a lineup and a projection of what the new DC is going to look like. So first off, it's no longer being called we're calling it the DCU. I don't know if they call it the DCU, but I'm still going to call it the DCU. But they have their first title for this phase 1 of their movies, which is called Gods and Monsters. This is the God and Monsters saga that they are starting off with. And so I know one big question y'all both will have is, we got several movies coming out this year, and so what's gonna happen to them? We got Shazam, we got The Flash still coming out, and look, he must have heard it. That's what it was. He heard us talking about DC. He was like, "How dare y'all start talking about DC?"
You guys know I can't let you do this without me, man. How are you boys, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, CT is in
bro?
the building, man. What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. Number one, Will Pharaoh, you out of control, man. I looked at that email and I looked at that last name and I said, oh, this is a trip. That's number one. I want you to look at the email while we're talking. Nice setup, by the way, Will Pharaoh. It's amazing. I want you to look at the email, and I want you to look at all 3 of our names outside of yourself. I want you to see what you did, brother.
You know how he did? You know how I know he didn't notice CT? Because he was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Clayton gonna pop up later. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But now in my head, I was like, well, I see Clayton English. I was like, I've been trying to get him on something for the longest.
That's
and I
wild.
I said it.
And I didn't catch that part.
Wow.
You didn't catch that part. And so
That's
then later on, he was
wild.
like, CT going to be joining us. And I said, CT? I said, I could have sworn I said Clayton English. I was like, all right, well.
That's wild.
First off, I'd like to apologize.
Man.
Secondly, this now lets me know I'm just going to write CT because I should have with my first instinct. I was like, okay, I don't want to write CT and then he might not see it. I was like, okay, so let me write Clayton instead. And then just put that so he know, like, okay, I know that you said you're gonna be here 12:30, so I just want to make sure you know ain't no confusion.
Spelled it out, bro.
I spelled it out and put it in bold.
Man, it was bold. I was feeling good until I saw the E. I said, oh, come on, man. Here's the funny thing. First of all, English, incredible dude, known for over a decade now. And it happened once with the improv. Like, improv sent me a spot. And they were like, yeah, can't wait to see you. I was like, this is a lot of extra energy for a spot. And then I get an email like an hour later, hey, oh my gosh, we got you mixed up. I'm like, well, I'm still coming. So I don't know what the mix up is. But yeah, man.
I've been promoting this bitch.
So mainly, dude, what have I missed? What have y'all been talking about so far?
Yeah, you just hopped in. So we had our hot topic in our fan fiction segment. We were talking about Wakanda Forever. And so you hopping in at just the right time because we're just talking about the DC announcements from James Gunn, introducing us to the God and Monster saga. And we're just now talking, just giving them a little information on what's to come with some of these movies like Shazam, The Flash, and stuff that's still coming in 2023. Yeah. Those are still coming. We're still going to get to watch all of those. They are going to be released. Flash is still set to release this year as well. Quoted by James Gunn saying one of the best superhero movies he's ever seen.
Wow.
That's what he said about The Flash.
That must be why they hold on to him, because they're like, man,
it gotta be.
I don't know what he did in that movie, but somehow he can go have him a Robert Downey Jr. month, and they still gonna stick with him.
Are they keeping him as for his new universe?
So they said he said in an interview that kind of gave like the CEO type of kind of answer. They're still supporting his recovery and stuff like that. And so once that's done, they're going to see where they go from there and stuff like that. But they're not going to, what James Gunn did say was he's not going to start casting folks out based off of just stuff that people have said or some stuff like that. Unless it's something truly like horrendous, like, yo, it's like, that's not my problem. So if it's, somebody say some off the wall stuff like, hey man, homeless people need to get a job. It's like, hey, you still got to show up for work on Superman next week. So we gonna see, but those movies are still coming out, and then a part of that is something that James Gunn cleared up for us is he's splitting up the DC cinematics and all the DC stuff that's still coming out. So there's going to be a difference. There's going to be the DCU, and then there's going to be DC Elseworld. So all of these movies that we saw, like the Batman, the Todd Phillips Joker series, the next Joker that's coming out, even to Peacemaker, these will not be a part of the DCU movies universe, but they will be part of the Elseworld category. So some of these, like Peacemaker, can continue with the season 2, or just like he announced, Matt Reeves, the Batman, will be getting a part 2, and it should be coming out, I believe, October 2025. So we are going to get another one of those.
Here's the thing. So one, he didn't say Peacemaker, and because Peacemaker, Amanda Waller is getting her spinoff. So that's going to be in that same world with characters from Peacemaker popping in. However, I do feel that because we have Peacemaker and because the way that he had done he'd already started his DC universe when he started Peacemaker. Well, realistically, Suicide Squad. So if you look at it from that point and you look at how they're having each character when he announced the Batman Brave and the Bold. So he's doing Batman Brave and the Bold with Damian Wayne as Robin. And by the time Damian Wayne comes out, Nightwing already exists. Mm-hmm. So if Nightwing exists, then you know Red Hood exists. And if Red Hood exists, then you know that there are other people. The Bat family is what he's building out. So the Bat family is being built out. That by the time that we see Amanda Waller, the show, and Peacemaker, it's already now Suicide Squad makes sense because technically it's in a more you're dealing with the adult Bat family than you would have been a young Batman, which is why Matt Reeves' Batman doesn't make sense in this universe. And I'm extremely happy about that because now we finally get a Batman that should have been Ben Affleck, but yeah,
it's a seasoned Batman is going to be really dope to get,
but not 2 seasons. Like Ben Affleck looks. They made him look older with the hair being gray, but he was still ripped, yoked, and young. So I don't know who they. The question now is who could they cast that isn't a no name that could be the new manly Batman. You know what I mean? I'm not asking y'all for the answer, but I'm just like, who could they cast?
You know, Robert Pattinson is 36. So
hey man.
I'm not throwing him away. But you know, by the time we get
the look of a grizzly Batman, he ain't giving us that, bro.
That's not my Batman.
Hold on, Will. Hold on, Deuces. Hey, Dion. Hey, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. All right, you shut the fuck up. That's number one, man. That's not. I don't care if he's 36, bro. He's 36, but he can play between the ages of 18 and 22. Okay, that's not a manly Batman, bro. He ain't got no muscle definition. He ain't trying to get no muscle definition. Ben Affleck pulled tires, bro, on camera. You know how many takes he had to do of pulling a tire? They had Robert Pattinson or Patterson, whatever the fuck the nigga. They had Robert pushing something up a fucking walkway, and he looked like he struggled. That's not my Batman. You can have him if you want.
It's not my Batman.
He's definitely not my Batman.
You said Christian Bale what?
How'd you feel about Christian Bale getting big?
But Christian Bale did the work. No, here's the thing. As a comic book superhero fan, we always respect the actor more when they put the work in to look like the character. People even gave respect to The Rock for Black Adam because he was like, yo, I don't want the muscle suit. I'm going to work out even harder. So I'm filling it out, and I'm already filling it out. So when you see superhero actors be like, yeah, I'm going to just put the suit on. Like when you watch The Boys and you saw and you saw Homelander without that suit, you're like, come on, man.
Bro, watching the press junket of them on The Boys, I was like, hey, who is dude?
He looks super small.
Like, wait a minute. Like, what the fuck?
Also, shout out to that suit, though. Like, that suit definitely is doing some wonders. Why couldn't we have that for Shazam? Because that Shazam suit. Come on, man. You ain't want to hit the gym for your boy?
Nah, he was like, yo, I need a suit that got abs put in.
Man, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. So,
I even think about the video games. I want video games. I want a Superman video game. I want a Justice League video game and not kill the Justice League. I want story mode. Like we used to have DC Heroes.
Yeah.
Was fire. That was the greatest team up Justice League game ever. And it was before Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So he said a lot about everything happened in the chapter 1 except video games. And I know he mentioned he wanted everything in video games to be matched up just like the rest of the universe.
Yeah, so I think too that's just taking strategy with like gaming companies that they're gonna work with, if they're gonna go with just one or if they're gonna maybe go with multiple people doing these and stuff like that. So I know that's a whole different plate to have to worry about outside of just movies and television. And so for even him to be giving us like movies and television and so much stuff coming, I can only imagine that they're probably waiting till around like E3 time when video games are really getting announced and stuff like that to give us that DC announcement for like different games coming out.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But also it would have to be rushed. Like, and I'm talking about rushed in the sense of, remember early 2000s when Batman Begins came out and then Batman Dark Knight and then Batman Dark Knight Rises, they were making video games that were like spot on to the movies. Yeah. And the Batman games were actually pretty good. But when you look at the other movies, like when Marvel Iron Man came out, the game was trash. So, but they had rushed it. My point in bringing it up is video game companies had rushed it to the point where they had only worked on it for a couple of months and dropped it. So if he's going to make the announcement at E3, I don't know if a great game, because we're still getting Suicide Squad. I don't know if a great game could be dropped in a year because we're talking.
Not to cut you off, but it doesn't necessarily have to be dropped because they can do like how Marvel did. So Marvel introduced us to all these games that hadn't came out yet, like because we're still waiting on the Wolverine game,
right?
But they announced that we are getting one, even though it's 2 years out. So it's nothing to really come up with a small little clip bit of the game that they're putting out just to announce, hey, we do have a Superman game in development, and we're looking to drop it between 2025 and 2026.
I like that. I'd like that a lot because we need a Superman game. We need a game for every member of the Justice League outside of just Batman, bro.
Yeah, we do. We do need a whole lineup. But speaking of Superman, though, Superman is also getting his own movie, Superman Legacy.
Finally.
James Gunn said it's not an origin story. We're not starting off in Smallville. We're not doing any of that. We're catching him as the Superman that's trying to find a way to balance his Kryptonian history and being this symbol of kindness on Earth as he starts to become this hero.
Mm-hmm. And like that was my main thing when they announced that they was rebooting everything and James Gunn was coming. I was like, if you're going to do Batman and Superman, don't do any origins because we done seen it so many times. So I was like, that was one of my biggest critiques and criteria that I was hoping that he didn't do. So I was excited that he did that. Me and CT was talking. I was like, it's a bold choice to go with Damian.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah, I was like, it's a bold choice to go with Damian, but I'm here for it because, like I said, Damian out of all the Robins is the most aggressive one. So that dynamic of Bruce, who he's aggressive, but he's the aggressor. He doesn't really like when other people is doing Bruce shit. So he
you got to go for the best Robin. You got to go for the best Robin. That's why. Like, what you gonna do? To give us Dick Grayson again and watch them fall in the circus? No, don't nobody want to see that.
I don't want to see that fall again.
Don't nobody want to see Tim Drake with that old dominatrix Kate running around here with a stick. And don't nobody want to see. Well, I want to see what happened to Red Hood. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, the Jason Todd. Yeah, that's good.
But you can see that now because Damian is around. By the time Damian come around, Jason Todd has already existed. Yeah. But here's the thing that I love is when you just said this, Deuces, when you see the Robin, Damian is my second favorite Robin, but he's definitely up there. But the reason I love seeing Damian is because the dynamic between he, Bruce, and Dick, because it's like, yo, Dick is low-key my son, because this is the first one I raised, but you're my legitimate blood son. And that comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you got the relationship between Dick and Damian. And that we've seen in animated movies has been so prolific. It's been so incredible that I would love to see that on screen. The problem is if you're introducing that, because Titans is gone after this season. Yeah. So if you're going to introduce Batman Brave and the Bold in what, probably 2025? No, it's not going to be 2025. He didn't even give a year on that. He said Superman's coming out in 2025. Yeah. So Batman's probably coming in 2026 or 2027. And if that's the case, you kind of have to show a mini introduction to Dick Grayson because he's going to be in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to show that intro, even if it's a quick showing the years of him raising him. But Damian Wayne, bro, now you're showing me Ra's al Ghul is still alive.
I was
You're
just about
showing me
to say that.
Talia.
That's going to be fire.
So we're definitely getting the League of Shadows back.
Definitely.
Definitely get that back, yeah. Maybe even too, like Quarter Owls, because like by the time he comes, the Quarter Owls are seeking him too. So that means we might get a chance to see Talon come to the screen and stuff.
I don't know. And this is why I say I don't know. Luckily, the Batman Chapter 2 isn't fully written out or in production before this announcement came. Because think about what you just said. We getting the assassins back. So if that's the case, who's going to be the big bit? And you can't do Joker realistically.
Right.
So if you're going to do that Batman Chapter 2 movie, or Part 2, I'm sorry. If you're going to do Batman Part 2, you can't really show the Quarter Owls like everybody thought we were going to get on top of maybe having a Joker, because the Quarter Owls should be specifically for the Brave and the Bold Batman.
Yeah.
So it's like, now the Matt Reeves dude has to, because that would have been a perfect, let's merge him into this new DC universe.
Yeah.
But James is like, nah, what y'all did, congrats, but I can't, that's not a part of this.
I don't mind that, because even the way Matt Reeves did it took the simplicity of what a villain is and slowed it down for us with Batman. So now it's like, I don't need to see several villains in his stuff. Like if the second one was solely focused on Penguin, I still think that would be a fire Part 2 movie with whatever Penguin is going to do.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm jumping in so much because you know I love DC, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, did you notice this? Let's focus on what the not said was. The not said was the Penguin series.
Yep.
Holla at your boy. He never even mentioned that. He didn't say no Elseworld shit for that. He said the TV shows we're getting are The Authority. We're getting no, that's gonna be a film. What's the animated joint?
Creature Commandos.
We're getting Creature Commandos, Amanda Waller, and the Green Lantern. Those are gonna be the series.
And
Everything else, and Booster Gold. He did not mention the Penguin, even in Elseworlds. So that's not even a part of the plan anymore.
I can see that.
If everything's gonna be matched up, why would I give Matt Reeves a spinoff? You know what I'm saying?
Which is why I say too, that can also now go into that. It can go into that movie, and we can kind of get ahead of like what's going on and stuff like that. Because it wasn't like Penguin series was never necessary.
Never.
I would have loved. Yeah, I would have still loved to see it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that you can't clear up within the first within 15 minutes within the film.
And that's the thing. I never wanted to see, bro. I'm a DC fan, cuz like when I look and I see these characters are so dynamic, and you tell me you got Batman villains. First of all, I was starting to get annoyed with how many villains were, and I said this on this show before. I'm like, bro, I'm tired of seeing the villains get more love and spotlight than the heroes. This would be different if we had seen their hero counterparts have a show first. But you can't tell me, we're gonna make another Suicide Squad, and we're gonna give Penguin a spinoff. Like, bro, Booster Gold still ain't got a show. This is before the announcement.
Wait, hold on, who you imitating when you say this?
That voice is previous dumbass DC leadership. That's whose voice that was. That was the voice of the people who's like, well, I mean, I don't think people want to see a Michael Keaton back in the bat suit. Let's go ahead and scrap Supergirl. I mean, Batgirl. Like, what are you doing? This is the entire reason so many people are coming back is because Michael Keaton is our Batman that we grew up on. And he's willing to get back in the suit. It's like, picture, what's my guy's name from Star Trek?
What, Picard?
No, the original dude, Captain Kirk.
Oh yeah, Captain Kirk. William Shatner.
William Shatner. That's as if William Shatner, we all saw Star Trek, the movie 1 with Chris Pine. And we were like, yo, what if he made a cameo? And I didn't watch Star Trek like that. But when you get a chance to see someone that is so iconic for a role you're like, I want to see them get back in the suit. And he wasn't willing to get back in the suit. So you got Michael Keaton 30 years later. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'll do it again. And then he does it and you disrespect him.
Not only was he down to do it again, but he was like, yeah, I mean, how y'all want to go? Y'all want to do old man Batman? Like, he was open to whatever storyline fits for the fan base. Like,
yeah.
And not only that, he did it several times. It's like, okay, I put it on for Batwoman.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all want to put it on for Flash? I'll put it on for Flash.
Yeah.
You need me to put it on another? Hey, I'll put it on for another one.
Now I feel like this because, and I'm gonna wait to send this tweet. I'm gonna probably send the tweet maybe tomorrow to James Gunn. I say it because he be responding to people. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say, James Gunn, with all due respect, now that there's a DC Elseworlds, drop that Batgirl, bro.
Yeah.
Drop that Batgirl, bro. Because we got Keaton.
Max at least.
Let it be Elseworlds. We're not expecting that to be in the DCU story. Drop that Batgirl, bro.
Bro, what I'm worried about, Justin, what I'm worried about with Gunn right now is I hope that he get his due. Like, because I think people, because he had 3 hits pretty much, and Warner Brothers like, ooh, we got a guy. I don't want him to be Justin Lin right now, like some Linsanity of like, you know.
Did you say Linsanity?
Hold on. We gotta give him more credit too, because we also got to count his Marvel side as well.
No, I think that's what he's talking about with his hits.
Well, no, because you got Peacemaker, Suicide Squad. And
No. He's talking about before he got the deal with DC.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So they was like, he's our guy. Yeah. We should get him, but it's not like he had 15 years of hits. So it was like he had a small window of hits, and now it was like, now he has to control a whole universe. Yeah. And I'm worried because people are so in love with the first. So they're going to keep on comparing no matter what.
But it goes to what CT was exactly just saying. The way to eliminate all of that, you just established that there's Elseworld. Give the fans what we wanted so we can close that chapter and say, all right, this is existing. This is here. We finished that out. But let's get into now. Like I said, this whole new, because like I said, I've been very vocal in telling people the way that you need to view these movies. When people was like, oh, the Marvel movies is not matching the comic books. I'm like, yeah, but like, just like if CT did a whole Avengers run and then his run in, and then Will takes over and do his Avengers run, there's certain things that will be similar because they're canon, but the whole overall story is going to be different. So I'm like, the MCU is Kevin Feige's run. So if James Gunn was like, let's finish out what the fans want, and now I'm going to get into my James Gunn run of these DC films, you are hitting both worlds. You're giving the fans what they want and leaving us open to say, okay, now let's see what James Gunn going to do.
You ready for this? To Dion's point, bro, just to add on, I'm putting sugar on the grits right now. You just gave us the grits.
Come on, baby.
Sugar right now.
Sugar grits.
Marvel's run. First of all, shout out to James Gunn. Good old JG. That's what I call him.
Good old JG.
Good old JG. JG came in at the perfect time because when he got released by Marvel, Marvel was riding high. You dig? They couldn't miss, baby. And then DC is like, we need a winner. Let's get JG. JG come through, hit him with the whoop wop for the Suicide Squad 2. We all was like, man, I ain't watching no bullshit Suicide Squad. The first one was trash. I'm not watching. This second one was amazing, right? Now they looking at this dude like he might be on to something. We need to holler at him, right? Yeah. Now, what Marvel started to do, Marvel has had one too many moments in the past 2 years, right? 3 years actually. So if this, and this, I know it sucks to say this, if Jonathan Majors doesn't save them, this is the perfect time for James Gunn to come through with another whoop wop and snatch that fire. Because now I'm gonna tell you, this is the whole thing. This is my opus. What James Gunn has done better than any DC head in history, and all he's done is what the fans have been asking for the past 20 years. And you know what that is? He's communicated.
I was just about to say that.
Nobody else in the history of DC Comics, when it comes to the film or television division, has ever communicated with us. Now, if producers and game creators, because Avengers just died on PlayStation and Xbox and PC is done in March and then completely finished in September, but the only thing we've been asking for 3 years is communication. Had it not been, God bless this data miner named Miller, had it not been for Miller giving us updates on what's coming and what's dropping and news to come, we would not know anything. So when you're a television, a film company, whatever, your job is to communicate with the fans, and we will give you grace. The problem with the heads of DC before Safran and James Gunn, they never spoke to us. They never let us know a plan. We had to read articles on what they thought the plan was. The heads of DC had never said, hey guys, this is our timeline and we're building towards something big, but this is the first chapter. He gave us that. Now we're like, all right, cool. You show me this. I've got excited about new characters. Of course I see Batman and Superman, but I don't see you telling me, yeah, and we're going to give you another Aquaman and another. No, you just telling me this is what the plan is. Stick with us.
Yeah.
And you start a universe with Superman. I don't care who you building. Even if you building Justice League Dark, you better show me some goddamn Superman.
Well, if you notice too, though, he is following suit like with Marvel. Marvel did the same exact thing. So it's like, okay, we have Superman. Superman is Iron Man in the comparison of this. Then the next one is to around that Batman thing. And then like you have the Authority. The Authority is the Guardian of the Galaxies version of DC. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to hit y'all with another one that you kind of like, not yet the big gun, but someone you can mess with, which would be Superwoman, with Supergirl. And then the story they're going off of is not the little small one, but like the chaotic one, the one that got stuck on the meteor and had to watch her whole family die.
And that's the one I want to see.
Oh,
so we get to see that Supergirl, and then she comes to Earth. And so then it's like, yo, you're hitting us with this same formula of people to where I can see the big titans and you can introduce me to the cats I don't really know, someone I'm familiar with, and then redemption of that with my favorite one that he announced, which is Swamp Thing.
Exactly. That show went crazy.
A horror movie. He turned this into a horror movie, and it's going to end off the Gods and Monsters saga. I love that show. I was so mad that they canceled it before it premiered.
Yeah, man.
damn.
Bro, like it was canceled before the first episode came out. And if y'all go and watch that, it's on CW and I think it's on HBO Max. It is such a good show for
it's incredible.
Television.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's the leadership of former DC, bro. They never it was expensive. I don't think you idiots know how television works. Former DC heads. Television works. The more people watch it, the more money you make. Right. So how can you cancel it just because it cost you a lot of money beforehand? Do you think, and this is real shit, do you think James Cameron wasn't shitting bullets when that first Avatar dropped?
Man.
This fucking movie cost so much money. He dropped an article a month ago, bro, when it came to Avatar 2, and he said, if this movie has to make $2 billion for it to start to make a profit. He said this. Yeah. And I remember reading that article like, whew, hey, man, you out of control. When you say it has to make $2 billion before it starts making a profit. And let me tell you something. He made that $2 billion.
Yes, he did. We
so
discussed that on the last episode. Yeah.
That's what happens with budgets. You overperform this budget hoping that it makes some money, and that's what you had to do with Swamp Thing, and it would have, but they killed it before it got the opportunity to. It was so amazing.
It was season one. You only had one season.
Only one season.
Damn it! It got canceled before.
Well, also too, it was because of the shaky time that was happening. Because when it dropped, it was supposed to go at the time when they had the DC app.
Yeah,
and then the DC app got shut down and it moved to HBO Max. And so HBO Max wasn't releasing nothing just yet. So that's when they tried to go, okay, well, we're going to sell it to the CW to try to air it and stuff for us.
And that was so stupid. Because the stuff in Swamp Thing is truly rated R. So it's like for you dropping it for the CW, you're editing out what makes it great. So you're already making a whole fan base be like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Like you're shooting yourself.
Yeah.
And what was crazy about Swamp Thing is right around the time when like real comic book heads really started like recognizing it, like, oh shit, I didn't even notice this was out. That's when they announced they canceled. And I was like, bro, it's picking up traction. Like y'all just killing it right now, and it's picking up traction literally right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of like the Batgirl thing. We didn't want to see no damn Batgirl until Michael Keaton came on. We was like, oh, Michael Keaton in it?
Mhm.
All right, well, I'll watch it if Keaton is in it. And then they're like, yeah, we killing the whole thing. We like, I feel bad for Michael Keaton. What about the girl? I said what I said.
I said what I said. But yeah, Dion, if you ever get a chance, bro, check it out. I promise you, like, you'll enjoy it. Nah, you'll enjoy it because it's like you'll watch it. You'll be like, yo, why was this canceled? Like, there's no explanation outside of what CT said was it was too expensive. I'm like, first of all, you can get rid of the Flash, you can get rid of Stargirl, you can get rid of Black Lightning, you can get rid of Titans for all I give a care. But you put another season of the Swamp Thing out. Okay, I don't care who you got to go to. You better go Netflix or something because they pay for everything.
Wow.
And they didn't do it, man.
So it is a horror TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. It's a TV show. It's supposed to be. It is scary, but it's not categorized as a horror show.
Wow.
But this movie is classified as a horror film, and that's what this Swamp Thing is going to be. And it is too. It's very like a lot of people don't really know too much about Swamp Thing, but it's just like imagine nature having an avatar to really just tell you like, yo, you chop down one more fucking tree.
I used to get Swamp Thing mixed up with the main character from Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah,
remember that show? You remember the Toxic Crusaders?
Yes,
I think I got that figure somewhere in my studio right now.
Most people don't know that was Michael Jai White's first movie.
What?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, if you go watch the Toxic Avenger, that was his first movie.
Bro, this is how much I didn't know about Swamp Thing when I was watching the Harley Quinn show. And then they was talking about how powerful Swamp Thing was. I had to look back into it because I was like, wait. And I, for whatever reason, I never put Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy together. And they got a whole history in the comic books. Like they was a love interest. Like he is like the if you talk about connected to the earth, Swamp Thing is that nigga that's connected to the earth. Like, and I'm like, damn, I didn't realize this aspect of it a lot. And I'm like, yo, that's what made the TV show even way better after I started looking into more about Swamp Thing. I'm like, yo, Swamp Thing is a beast.
Oh yeah, bro, that dude is crazy. So that's why I'm like, I can't wait to see now with all of the updated CG, like what's gonna happen, what story they're going off of, and then the two, like that's another way to be able to introduce different characters from different comic book stories into that, like a Poison Ivy, to be able to connect you to a Batman and stuff until it drops. So I look forward to it. Another one I'm looking forward to is the Lantern show.
Oh, thank you.
Yo, True Detective meets Green Lantern Corps, and it's going to be focusing on both Hal Jordan and John Stewart working together.
Instead of the two lanterns nobody fucking knew about, it's like, except for a true comic book head, it's like, bro, everybody's favorite two lanterns are John Stewart and Hal Jordan. These are just the joints. Like, they trickle down from there. I'm not taking away who your favorite is personally, who's watching. I'm just telling you, these are the stars. These two, Hal Jordan was the first, and then John Stewart was the one that we grew up watching on Justice League, the animated series, and Unlimited. So and this is how stupid former leadership was, bro. They focused on their agenda getting Green Lanterns out and what the story was going to be, and they made the agenda more important than the story than making a great story, bro. And if you make a great story, people will with you 100%.
Yep. And I was gonna say what's messed up about it is Jessica Cruz is actually a dope ass Green Lantern, but because it was so obvious what DC was doing, it's like, bro, y'all already messing up Jessica Cruz story because it's obvious what y'all doing. Like, oh man.
Yeah. So you know what would be cool? I think we gonna have Superman, but let's make Superman attracted to oranges. Like, what the fuck does his attraction have to do with this nigga saving the world? Just give us a story. That's the problem with former DC leader. I swear to you, bro, if I can run up and smack the shit out of former DC leadership in the face, I'd take the opportunity, bro.
I need a comedic video series of CT talking to DC old heads.
I'm so tired of it.
Just
because
throwing out them ideas.
look at CW, bro. CW, the
Oh,
CW
yeah.
shows started off and had promise, bro. And then agendas start taking over. And whatever agenda that is depends on whatever community they were focused on that week, because several communities got served.
He said that week.
I know we haven't chopped it up in a while, but CT, tell me you saw the Batman that they are trying to give us in the Gotham Knights.
Oh,
TV
Gotham
show.
Knights.
If you think
Bro,
that I am watching that bullshit, you are on that narcotic.
I know you're not watching. I'm not watching. I'm just saying that trailer, when they said this was the Batman, I said, wait, is this just a nigga in a mask in a 3-piece suit? Like, that's the Batman that got killed? Like, bro,
Dude,
I was so pissed at that. I said, what the fuck?
Dude, you should have done like me. That's when I decided, you know what? I'm gonna follow CT's logic and not watch trailers. So
Dion,
my perspective ain't spoiled.
Dion, in the Gotham Knights TV show in general, Batman is dead. He's done, and the Bat family takes over. In the show, they showed the moment when Batman dies. The Batman that they have dressed up is in a 3-piece black suit and a Zorro mask. And they said, that's Batman that died. I said, y'all couldn't even get the cow? Like, you're like, bro.
This is a show that sounds like...
No, it's supposed to be
This is the
coming
first
out.
one. It just came out.
Oh,
This is the last one.
I'm getting it mixed up with the Alfred's one.
Oh, Pennyworth?
Oh, Pennyworth was
No, Pennyworth go hard.
Pennyworth was decent.
Pennyworth go hard, bro. Yeah.
You know where
Pennyworth.
Pennyworth didn't go? On that DCU slate. Neither did that bullshit ass Gotham Knights. None of that shit.
I'm glad too.
It's on the slate. JG knew what he was doing.
He did.
JG ain't announced nothing.
Even TV.
Yes,
He can
TV,
control all
film, animated, and gaming.
So Flash, Green, Arrow.
Flash is on
all
his
that?
last season. Arrow been gone for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing left now
Lois
is
Lane.
Stargirl.
All that gone?
Superman and Lois.
Superman Lois.
They didn't mention it, but
It's teetering though. It's teetering. I kept up with it. Season 1 was fire. Season 2 is cool, but it's starting to kind of lose that edge that it
and that's what happens usually in seasons 2 and 3 for those CW shows. Here's the problem though. And realistically, shout out to all the actors involved in Superman and Lois, and thank you guys for your effort and what you guys have brought to the table. However, as much as I love Tyler Hoechlin, you know that nigga ain't Superman, bro. That's number one. Number two, it's not my Superman. You can't stand him. They stood him next to Tom Welling in the crossover, and you had a straight face when you did it. That's when I didn't respect it. Number two, you can't say as JG that this story is crossing between television, film, animated, and video games and have Superman and Lois existing in that and not calling it Elseworlds.
Yeah.
Because he only mentioned 2 things in Elseworlds, and that was the Joker movie and that was the Batman movie. He never said anything else was Elseworlds. That was his and he said Aquaman 2. I don't think he said Aquaman 2 was Elseworlds, but he said there wasn't.
It is Blue that Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, and what was the other one? Shazam. But he said Shazam has always operated in his own little thing, but that was him clearing up. This is Elseworlds. We finishing out the previous chapter with all these movies, and now chapter 1 will begin. So he did say that we're not saying that older heroes won't resume playing themselves, but those stories are over there.
Yeah. Did you see the spice that he threw on about Henry Cavill?
Hold on, what'd you say, Dion?
What sucks about a child? We're adults that understand this happening. A child watching this is like, I'm so confused. Why is there so many Batmans? Why is this? What's happening? There's a new Superman. Like, I watched the TV show and I watched the movie. What is happening, Mom? Well, there's a thing called money.
There's a thing called money.
The movie doesn't make money. They have to be replaced.
Hey,
and as a parent, I'm pissed because didn't I just buy you a Batman toy? I got to buy you another Batman. No, this completely different. A different Batman. This is year 2 Batman.
Well, because you know the bat symbol gonna be different. They always They always do a different version of the bat
Yeah.
signal. So
Yeah.
Why
But
does
looking
this
at
Harley
it,
Quinn look different than this Harley Quinn?
oh, well, that Harley Quinn is
Lady
played by
Gaga
Kelly
was
Cooper.
Harley Quinn. Why is it this?
That's Lady Gaga.
Which
That's-
I swear I keep thinking that's Mila Kunis talking as Harley Quinn every time she speaks.
I love Kayla Kuko. She
Me too.
is dope. Here's the thing though. So before we even address the Superman joint that you said, Deuces, the Batman thing as a kid that you have to address. When Michael Keaton was no longer Batman, I was like, what's going on? Because they never fucking communicated with us, bro. So we just were at the theater like, all right, right? We didn't.
It's up to a horrible one too. Be like, who is this dude doing the blowfish lips every time you got Batman on?
Bro, because they definitely cast Val Kilmer
They did.
just because of the mouth, bro. They had a similar mouth.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I was in the theater and I saw it and I was like, ew, loud as hell.
Telling you,
Ew.
the
They
funniest thing,
disrespected us.
the funniest thing about that movie is if you go back and if you watch like Sill's Kiss from a Rose video and you just see all the cutscenes of Val Kilmer in between the face that he makes.
It was that and just that light he always had. It was just
Yeah.
where is light coming from when you Batman? Just
And
They never
Jim Carrey
communicated.
using the same mold as Val Kilmer.
Oh, Jim Carrey definitely stole that mo. He stole that mo. That was from Val Kilmer's face, and they went back and forth and took it and put it on Jim's face. That shit, they never communicated with us. We never knew what was going on. It took us to be maybe 25, 30 before we found out why Michael Keaton left. So now JG is already winning because he's communicated with us and let us know what's going on. And he's communicative on Twitter, which is talking to the people. Before, during the Justice League stuff, the only part, like Snyder would kind of communicate when it came to Snyder's vision. However,
like pictures and stuff.
Pictures and stuff like that. Stop being cryptic and open your fucking mouth. Tell us something. You know what I mean? But James Gunn has communicated with us. He's let us know what's going on. He's cleared up any mistakes.
I love that. I love that he addresses like somebody be like, oh, sources telling us. He be like, hey, that's cap, fam. Like,
Yeah.
like
I don't
he
know
just
what's on that.
getting right to it.
But you know what's funny? I didn't realize how important a director was until I became like in my 30s. So James Gunn is good as a writer and director together. He ain't gonna be able to do all this entire universe. He ain't gonna Tyler Perry this shit. It's gonna go awry somewhere because
Well, it may not go awry. It's based
may-
on
yeah.
the team he builds. The reason why Feige was so dope is that he built a team that was able to listen to him and work out the vision. That's why James Gunn worked into it, because if James Gunn is a good leader, like we expect him to be, then he's going to build a good team that helps him flesh it out.
There's no if. He's already shown a good lead. Like, think about,
True.
shout out to Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige had a John Favreau. John Favreau came in and completely, he made us care about Iron Man. And not only did he make us care about Iron Man, this is the job of someone who can't do everything. If I say, yo, guys, I can't direct every movie, I can't write every movie, but this is the story that we're building toward. As long you can do whatever you want within these movies, as long as you hit these beats and you get us here. Now, when you get people on the same page like that, you're going to win every time. The problem is once you start saying, oh shit, okay, cool. Oh, Dion, so you want to direct the Superman movie? All right, bet. Deuces, you want to direct the Flash movie? All right, cool. And then Will, you want to direct Wonder Woman? All right, bet. Cool. I'm gonna do The Authority. And we're all like, all right, bet, let's do it. We'll meet back here in 3 years. And we don't have a fucking story. We just throwing shit up against the wall. That's what DC had been before. Snyder had his Justice League and he had the heroes and he wanted to fight Darkseid. That's fine, but you never laid out a plan. You just said, yeah, we're gonna do Batman versus Superman, and then we're gonna do a Wonder Woman movie, and then Aquaman movie, and then we're gonna do a Flash movie and a Cyborg movie. It's like, okay, this is great that everybody's gonna get their own movie, but why are they getting their own movie?
Right.
Are they getting their own movie just because you want to show us the Justice League be strong, or are you trying to literally put things in each movie that connects these? And none of those films did. The only thing that Batman versus Superman did was introduce Wonder Woman and kill Superman with with Doomsday. And then when they did the Justice League movie, which was extremely premature, not the Snyder cut, the regular version.
Yeah.
Now you show, you know what? Let's, for shits and giggles, let's talk about the Snyder cut. Snyder cut was also fire, but stupid, because you're showing this big ass fight with Steppenwolf, and then you're gonna show Darkseid come in, and you introduce Martian Manhunter, but you don't have him doing anything.
Right.
I'm sorry.
He was there from Superman. He was
there.
The movie gives you blue balls. That's what it is.
Let me ask you this though: Did remember when the Flash came into the TV? Bruce, it ain't blah blah blah. Did they ever connect?
Yes, they connected into the when they did the Snyder cut. So the Snyder cut shows the true dream of what happens, which is if Superman loses Lois, that's what, like, he becomes like this whole dictator and he's killing everybody, and now Batman has to try and pull together some of the villains and a couple of the heroes who are left to try and take him out. So it was very underwhelming. It was dope, but underwhelming.
Very much so. Very much.
It was like, this is the thing from Flash.
This was y'all kept telling people to release. This was it.
And it was better than what it was, but it was like, come on, man. If this is your best shot, I now understand why they didn't give you another one. Because you didn't do anything. Like, listen, man, I really get passionate about this. I'm trying to calm down. When you build a story, let's say, hey, man, you know what's dope, bro? Hey, Will Pharaoh, he got some size on him. Hey, Dion Lack got some size on him. We should do a movie where they're fighting. Not yet. Let's do this. Let's do a movie with Will. Let's do a movie with Dion. And then the solution is a villain that they both will end up fighting. Let's throw a movie in the middle of both of their movies about Deuces. Or let's do a movie about Deuces first. So you do a movie about Deuces first. You throw that on HBO Max because nobody know the character of Deuces yet and why he's important. Then you drop the movie with Will. Then you drop the movie with Dion, and then you call the next movie Dion versus Will. Now everybody's like, "Oh, we're about to see Dion versus Will," and then right as they're tearing each other apart, they see Deuces come in from his motivation from the first movie, which is to steal the Earth's core or some shit like that. And now the only two people who can fucking work together and stop him are Dion and Will. And then you show Dion and Will working together, and now they've formed a bond. And now in the midst of that, you see other heroes that have come around to join into the fight to stop Deuces. And now you got a fucking story.
Yeah.
As opposed to let's do a Will versus Dion right now, and then we'll just put Deuces in there too and just shoehorn it. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, they had no foreplay. They went right from Man of Steel to that. And I'm like, God,
yeah. How you do Man of Steel? First of all, for you to say you're doing Batman versus Superman and you're going to do the origin story of a brand new Batman in Batman versus Superman. First of all, I just met this nigga. That's number one. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
I just met this man. And now you're going to tell me that he's about to fight the guy that I've known for a couple of years. Instead of you trying to just say, look, man, Christopher Nolan is a part of this. Nolan, get Christian Bale to come do this movie, please. Because he would have said yes.
Hold on. Let's not get too hasty, because let's not get that trash ass Batman in here. I like my Ben.
I love Ben Affleck, but if Dark Knight Rises was never to come to pass, you would have liked to see Christian Bale in Batman versus Superman.
But then I saw Ben Affleck, the real Batman. I saw that. I didn't see I'm sorry.
I hated that voice.
So much.
You a Batman.
And that's the problem that's happening right now. We're gonna keep comparing this DCU with whatever James Gunn come up with.
That's not true.
No, that's not true. That's not true. It comes to, like, we'll do that with characters, but it's just for fun and giggles. Because it's like the same thing when Todd Phillips introduced the Joker. I didn't compare him to Heath because I know, okay, Joaquin is going to make his own path as Joker. I want to see that path. I'll have the comparisons there, but I'm not going to dictate, okay, this guy did a better job than this one, because I know they're going to give us separate ones that are going to stand out. Batman is kind of hard to stand out because it's the same guy. It's not nothing really different. Like, there's different variations of Joker. There's different ways that he came up and stuff like that. From the dude with the cut smile, from the one with the classic paint, there's so many variations you can play as him. Bruce Wayne is just that same person that saw his parents get shot and his true daddy turn him into a vigilante, which is Alfred. Alfred is his true daddy, in case I didn't know.
And really, really the only thing that we really judge a Batman on, though, in general, is we look for somebody who can balance Bruce and Batman, right? Is like when we go, because we often get like, man, that's a good ass Bruce, but they suck as Batman, or they are fire as Batman, but I don't see them as Bruce. So it's like a lot of the times the comparison comes from who was our most complete, closest to both Batman and Bruce that we got, and we comparing it to that,
which is Michael Keaton. Ben Affleck, the only reason I can't give Ben, and this is the only thing he's missing, is a solo film. And it's not his fault. He made more appearances as Batman than any other Batman. Like, he made more appearances in other people's movies and these cameos, but he never got the solo project. Yeah. And that's the only thing that held him back.
Yep. And it was building up.
It was building up. Christian Bale was only existent. Christian Bale, the only Batman that you can compare Robert Pattinson to is Christian Bale, because he's the only one that has a similar situation where he existed in his own world, right? Michael Keaton no longer can be said about that because he appeared in this Batgirl thing and he's going to be in the Flash. So it's like that Batman is now canon to the DCU. But Ben Affleck and Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson are in their own little island. That's the Project Batman. It's like, this is just, he only exists in a world by himself as opposed to other heroes and villains from other universes being a part of it.
Let me ask you this, CT. If they released the Batgirl, even though it's a different world and it's trash, would you still be like, or would you be like, I should have kept it away? They should have kept that shit.
You know why I gotta be biased? Because it's Michael Keaton, bro. There are certain people that you give passes to, like Lord rest her soul, Whitney Houston. You gave passes to Whitney Houston that last decade because you're like, hey man, I will always love you, Whitney. You get what I'm saying? So you give passes to your heroes, bro. And Michael Keaton is somebody that I've watched Batman and Batman Returns both equally over 100 times. I owned the Batman Michael Keaton toy. I watched Batman the Animated Series because of the influence from Michael Keaton. And that goes to show you, when you look into different universes, Batmans, as a child, I understood that they kept television and film separate. So when I was looking at the TV show, the animated series Batman, I was like, oh, well, I guess they couldn't get Michael Keaton to do it because it would cost too much money. So they got to hire this guy. And then that guy became such an iconic Batman that we wanted to see him in live action. And we got the one chance to see it. And he was better than 80% of the other people who've ever put the cowl on.
Woo! That man. Yeah. Oh.
He
Rest
comes
in
out
peace,
with
Kevin Conroy.
Rest in peace. And I'm glad that he got a chance to do. This is what happens, guys. When you have a true icon that loves the work that they're doing, they'll do things like, oh yeah, I'll voice as Kevin Conroy. I'll voice Batman in another television show. I'll voice him in another cartoon. I'll do video games. Cool. Yep. And this voice was the running theme for the last 30 years, right? And then they're like, hey man, we're doing this big crossover event. Would you be Bruce Wayne? Oh, I'd love it. He's not like William Shatner. It's like, not doing that no more. You know what I mean? Michael Keaton. Hey, yeah, I'll do it again. What? The reason Birdman rocked so hard is because it was very similar to Batman.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah. And then even on top of that, like Kevin Conroy, when he chose to come into the reality, he did it on an Avenger-like scale for television. Which was Crisis on Infinite Earth. So it's like, yo, you came at the correct time. Anytime we need to see you, it was right then and there. And then just like how it's said and then how it was, and then for him to pass, it's like, yo, we actually got to see this voice come to life. But then not only that, it's like we've heard you for 30 years. So it's like to us, you are kind of that old man Batman based off of how long you've been talking. So it's just like,
and we already got to see him be old man Batman.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Batman Beyond 20 years ago.
Yep.
That's the legend, bro. So
legend.
when it comes to these actors, when it comes to people like, oh yeah, I don't know how long I'll play this character. Like, I don't want to hear that fuck shit, bro. You signed up to play this role. I deserve to see you play this role for the rest of your life. Now, mind you, you got people like Thor, Chris Hemsworth, who's like, yo, I'll play Thor forever. Hugh Jackman, yeah, I'll play Wolverine forever. Even no matter what, I'm always gonna be known as Wolverine. For him to even come back in Deadpool to play Wolverine, knowing what he has to put his body through, over 50 years old, to do it for the fans, for a job that changed his life, is what you have to be in these films and these television, because it's more than about money. When you look at the Power Rangers 30-year anniversary, Amy Jo Johnson, you out of control. You out of control,
man.
This is 30 years, bro. This is 30 years. And Walter Emanuel Jones, the original Black Ranger, American, because I know people going to be in the comments, well, you know, the first one, shut the fuck up. I'm Power Rangers history around this bitch. You got Walter Emanuel Jones, original Black Ranger. You got David Yost, original Blue Ranger. Then you got Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, Karen Ashley, still a part of season 2. They weren't original, but they were the next original cast members returning. You got Catherine Sutherland, who came in season 2 as well after Kimberly, after Amy Jo Johnson left the show. You got Austin St. John, who made an appearance at least 2 years ago during the pandemic for Dino something, but we all love to just see that cameo. Then you got a chance to have seen Jason David Frank, God rest his soul, all the cameos that he had done. You mean to tell me, Amy Jo Johnson, they sent you an offer. You said it wasn't enough. You sent, how about we do this? They don't respond, and that's just it for you. This is 30 years. You don't get another 30-year anniversary. As you saw, and I'm not going to guilt anybody, but I will say, as you saw, life is too short, man. One of the brothers that I just mentioned is no longer with us, and you couldn't come back for the thing that got you your start and got you so many fans.
Yeah.
You couldn't come back for a 30-year anniversary. It's not about the money. I had this conversation with Walter.
What if this is gonna be? She's gonna be the Killmonger. What if she might pop up?
She ain't popping up. I said, yo, Walter, this ain't about the money. This is about the fans and the legacy. You're the only one who hasn't come back. You and David. And he was like, man, you're right. And now he's back. I guarantee the money ain't make none of them rich, but this is for the fans. This is for what they put into this franchise. Go ahead, Will.
No, but also too, just to even piggyback with what you said to add to this so you can continue.
Yeah.
You won't come back for this, but you'll reprise your role as a cameo in the Power Ranger movie that dropped.
Ooh.
You and Jason David Frank. That's your last one that you show. So you will come back, but you won't come back for your own.
That's real. You came back for Power. You came back for Power Turbo, a Power Rangers movie where you played this quick cameo, but you can't come back for the 30-year anniversary on the flicks for the fans. The only reason she had came out to do conventions was because Jason David Frank convinced her. And I understand that this is what I will say with Grace. There are, it's a completely different world for women in these conventions than it is for men. And I can only imagine how some of these weirdos make women feel. That's not my complaint. My complaint is you were a hero to me as a little boy, and to not see the original Pink Ranger hurts, because it's not about the money. It's about what the fans, it's about the fans. And that's what it's always about, man.
Yeah.
All I know is this: if she do a Susie Q reboot, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, if she do a Susie Q reboot, I'm lighting the city on fire.
I think they might come back, man. I think they might do like a little something, like a quick cameo, just kind of, you know, like a Patrick Stewart when he kind of popped up, something like that, like, because there's
in
no
Star Trek too.
It's Dion. What you missing though? It's not the property. The property wants her back. It's all on her.
Wow.
And then the
So
cameo
that's-
still just don't do it
Yeah,
justice.
it
It's
doesn't do
like,
justice, yeah.
yo, you're
It's
the
all on her.
original Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like you like all these folks came back. Like it's just like, yo, like what are you doing?
Besides
You know,
Because
Trinity,
you also,
besides
well, I
Trinity,
was going to say, you,
the rest
yeah,
of
who
them had,
passed away. Yeah.
Yeah.
they all have they ever had any the four of them? They ever had like a reunion?
No, this would have been it where all
Damn.
all the originals would have came back outside of the original Jason. And then too, like correct me if I'm wrong, CT, because I saw something and I don't think it's true, and I may have read that wrong. Did Trini have a daughter and like her daughter's a Power Ranger now?
I don't know how they're gonna do it in a reunion, but the young lady is playing her daughter.
Oh, okay, got you. That's what.
Yeah,
so
she's
that's
not her
what I
actual
read.
daughter.
Okay.
But yeah, she died in I don't want, but yeah, she so that's gonna be interesting to see how they play that. But my thing is, Amy Jo Johnson has only come back to certain things because of Jason David Frank, even though her and David Yost are extremely close. So I think it's a missed opportunity. Even with the Power Rangers movie premiere, there's a picture. There's even a picture with Jason David Frank and Austin St. John, David Yost, and Walter Emmanuel Jones, and Amy Jo Johnson is not in the picture. You know what I mean? Like, I think she came to the premiere later or whatever, but it's like it's not that picture. So it's like, bro, do you not think about these things, or do you not care that these, like for me, Power Rangers was life-changing?
Man.
But also too, we got to remember that can be a stigma for folks and stuff like that too.
When you 50?
Yeah, I think about it though. Like even now to this day, I doubt Jaleel White don't cringe a little when someone goes a line from like Steve Urkel.
Oh,
like,
I don't doubt it.
Or just yeah.
I
So
don't
it's
doubt
still so it's still that stigma there. And it's just like some people may not be able to handle that. Because think about it, like, can you name something else she's been in?
Yeah, we talk about Suzy Q. We could talk about Flashpoint. It was a show that she had done on like Fox or something. So she's had a storied career. Out of every one of the Power Rangers, to be honest, her and Walter have the most credits outside of Power Rangers, because Walter went on to do the Shield. He had Space. Well, I'm sorry, in order, he had Space Cases. He had another show in between Space Cases and the Shield, and he had done a couple of sitcoms. Like Walter has done it all. Then you look at Karen Ashley, who also had her credit game up, killing stuff. And then you look at Amy Jo Johnson, who Felicity, Flashpoint, Suzy Q, she started directing. Like if anything, she's moved past it so much. That's why you could come back and be celebrated as what you did and what you helped build. But, you know, to some people, man, it's just not important to them. And that's so unfortunate.
Well, I was going to say to CT's, I got to get up out of here soon too. But I was going to say to CT's point, and to your point is too, Will, like, yeah, it could be like there could be something that's to it. But to CT's point, benchmark moments is the moments where you say, you know what? All right, normally I'm not, I'm that chapter of my life is closed. But I recognize that this is a benchmark moment in history. And so I'm going to suck it up for, like I said, filming a TV show or that special, let's say 2 weeks max that she had to spend on film. 2 weeks out of your life just to make history one more time for the people who loved you and loved this property. Like that's a sacrifice that, said at some point, like, are you willing to make that or not?
There are two things. There are a few things for my own personal creations, but I was on a show called Family Time. We did 8 seasons in total. Played a character named Donnie. For the rest of my life, that role, there are going to be people, hey, you Donnie from the jet, all of that. I would gladly say something from the show or do another show or another season or reunion special, whatever. Then you got the sketches, the I know y'all fucking, or Sebastian the Assassin, or whatever the fuck catchphrase of anything that I've done. I would do that until the day that I die. If people are like, yo, we want to see it. You want to see it? I'll keep making it, because those kind of things help put me on the map. So it's not so much as running away from it. It's more so, yo, do I want to do this? No. But is this going to make people happy and I'm getting a chance to do an anniversary of it? Then done. I'm doing it.
Yeah. But then too, to your point though, CT, even with that, that didn't define your career.
Right.
You know, like we, and again too,
Mhm.
like you enjoy doing that. You felt blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Even more blessed that if people get inspired by it to go like, yo, bro, you made me laugh. Even if I've seen only one episode, I bust out laughing when you
Yeah.
came on.
Yeah.
It's like you find that power into that to where it allows you to keep going. For a lot of these, like a lot of people I've seen, like even like in some of these conventions that just don't seem happy that they played this role. And
At
it's
all.
just like, yo, like, do you like you don't realize like how iconic of a person
Yeah.
you are and stuff like that. It's like, you know, I get demons that you've had to fight in the past and stuff like that, but it's like that character didn't fight them demons. Them characters don't have them demons. So
True.
that can be your glory from all of that. Like even when I met the dude that played Flash Gordon, he's so nice. He's just like how you see in Ted. It's like, yo, like he does not mind putting that suit on, coming back out there because
Right.
it was so iconic for him. It's just like, yo, when you see this, somebody's gonna light up.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna light
Mhm.
up. Someone's gonna want pictures. Somebody's gonna have me fan fiction. Someone's gonna have something for me. So it's just like how you said for Amy Jo to like not put that into question with her and thinking of this role. It's just like you're the Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last
Like,
thing that I would say in general with that, because like I think then you vocalize it, right? So like, and I'm gonna speak for me. I don't know if CT felt the same way, but when I saw David Yost's name on it, knowing
Yeah.
how vocal he was about his time on it, I was legit surprised. When I first heard that they was doing the reunion, I was like, all right, we know David Yost, so I'm already okay with him not being there because he has vocalized his trauma, what he's dealt with, and everything, right? So him sucking it up and being, I was like, yo, what? Like that's crazy, right? Amy, yo, she hasn't said any contentions of being there, right? So it's like you messing with our emotions because we're like, okay, we're like, it's almost in. You said that there's a reunion with the original cast. We expected her to be there. Oh yeah, we know you're gonna be there. You never had no issues with it,
Bro.
So it's like that's the issue. Is like you leaving it way up in the air. And then only to tell us last minute, only to tell us last minute that you ain't with it. Like that's like I said, if you got contentions with it, be vocal so that way we can at least know. Like
This is my thing, bro. I don't want to trash this young lady. This is just because she's still a hero, childhood hero of mine. What I will say is David Yost, at a very dark point in his life, dealing with his sexuality, was teased, bullied, and made to feel worthless. And this man was able to find a light. This man was able to overcome. He was able to find joy and love within himself and to still go back to something that is associated with a very dark point in your life. I thank you. I appreciate you, David Yost, and I'm grateful for every Ranger that is coming back for the special.
Yes.
And for the Rangers that might have been offered an opportunity to come back and haven't, shame, yo. Because yo, man, these, you know what, I get a lot of these, and I never want to stop getting them, but I get a lot of messages differently from people. Sometimes I get a chance to meet people in person, and people tell me what some of my content has meant to them, or a video that helped them get through a time, whatever the case may be. And every time I've heard it, I needed to hear it. I was at a point in my life where I was at a point in time where I'm like, I needed this. And for Power Rangers, not only was it's so easy to say, oh, that was my childhood, but to elaborate, much like the DC universe and DC content, these things helped me escape, right?
Yeah.
My childhood probably had some extremely dark moments that I've repressed, being a kid, and, you get bullied or you don't feel like you fit in. And then you have these properties, these science fictional properties that allow you to escape and be somewhere else or be somebody else. And the nostalgia of revisiting that, you owe it not only to yourself for what you contributed, but to the people that supported you and support you to the day. Because as a child, they always tell you if you get child fans, you got fans for life.
Facts.
Because people, now I'm still talking about Michael Keaton. I'm 36. I started watching this dude when I was 4.
Yep.
You dig?
Yeah.
So it's like this. You get fans that are kids, and you'll have fans for life. And I just hope people don't undervalue or underappreciate that.
Yeah, and then especially for something like, and just to end it off on that before we get ready to close.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody gets a chance to be blessed with something that has continued since then, because Amy could have been a part of Beetleborgs. Woo! And we see what happened to that.
Hey,
you're a part of a series.
3 typical average kids at
Yeah, but you're part of a whole series that is still from the 90s when we were children, that's still going on to this day, that's impacting children now. It's like, yo, you're a part of that legacy. Like and it is disappointing to be able to like have to miss out on someone like a CT of, if he had children at this time, that's also a Power Rangers fan. I get to introduce you to the ones I saw as a kid and maybe even interact with yours. And you're depriving us of that. And you're not even giving us a legitimate reason why. So
I'll tell you this. Also, this is another shout out to David Yost and Walter Daniel Jones. They still look like teenagers with attitude. And David Yost is yoked. That motherfucker is ripped.
When I see that behind the scenes,
he's like, I was like, yo, is this all this arm definition in this game?
that arm definition was
How you more ripped now than when you were Billy in 1993?
Look, I gotta say it, yo. That man had that trauma. He said, yo, you ain't finna hit me with them jokes when I hit
try that shit again.
Try that shit again now.
That man is yoked. Not to say that he ever wasn't in great shape, because in the Power Rangers, the movie, he was also ripped.
He did get a little bit more buff.
We didn't give him his credit back then. But right now, this dude he got to have hella action scenes, bro.
Yeah, still up there. So, but before we get out of here, I do want to get your opinion on just one more thing before we do, and that's one more show that DC is going to be coming out with, which is Paradise Lost. So, Paradise Lost is going to be a prequel to Wonder Woman's time. It's going to focus on the island of Themyscira. It's like Game of Thrones.
That's what caught me when he said that.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones. I said, oh,
yo. So I just like, yo, you got that. You got the Greek mythology behind this too. So it's just like, I don't even know what we're going to see, but I'm already sold on it. The fact that we don't, it's like, I don't even care Wonder Woman ain't here. I don't care to see her mom. It's like, yo, I want to see the Amazons whoop ass.
Here's the thing. So glad you said that, Will Pharaoh. And thank you for even reminding me what my thought was when I heard this yesterday. Paradise Lost. First of all, I've never been a fan of any, and when The Rock says any, I mean any. When you mention any prequel to Batman, I've never been down for it. I'm not down for Alfred. I wasn't down for what was it called on Fox? What was it? Was it Gotham? I wasn't down for Gotham. I wasn't down for Alfred. I wasn't down for Krypton. I wasn't down for any prequel with the superhero that I'm a fan of, not a part of it. Because when you show such a dynamic hero like Superman, and you're like, yeah, here's Krypton, or when you show here we got Batman, but let's give all his villains to Gordon before he even became. It's like, I'm not down for this, right? I don't care about Alfred's relationship with Thomas Wayne before Bruce Wayne sees him be murdered and becomes his vigilante. Wonder Woman, it's a little different. And I'm gonna explain why. Wonder Woman's history is so rich. There's an island of Amazon women that are warriors. This is White Woman King before Woman King is even thought of. You hear me? This is White Woman King. And there's some black women on the island, and that's what I respect. So you got all of these Amazon women that are mixed within Greek mythology. And then you say it's going to be like Game of Thrones, where we could have Zeus and the other gods make appearances in this show, and we get a chance to see the true rich history of the Amazons, which they encounter Atlanteans, by the way, and That's of course the Aquaman lure, but that I'm interested in not so much as just the Aquaman lure, but like or the Wonder Woman lure, but I love the Amazon storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to hear their history and then you show me Wonder Woman, now I'm even more invested.
Yeah, don't forget the lanterns too, because you also have the lanterns that they had to interact with as well.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking to see, like, if he said Game of Thrones style, there's just even from the small things that we've seen on the island, some of the hierarchy that we've seen between the queens, some of the rituals that they have,
Yep.
some of the logic that they follow. It's like to really be able to see that and to see it from outside of the eyes of Wonder Woman, who is just like this, you know, she's this outside of it. She's an outsider because of the fact that she's part God. So it's like to now kind of get back to where it's like, yo, these Amazonians, why they were sent there, to find out why they were put there, and to see like exactly what's happening to them. It's like, yo, especially you throw in the style of Game of Thrones, I can't wait.
Because you start talking about kings and queens, and then you got the commoners, and then you got these people that are warriors, and then you got the gladiator games type thing, and then you there's so many. Here's my question: why? Right? What part of the larger story do they play? And that's the mystery. Because this is a prequel to Wonder Woman. So what story are they telling where we have to know this history?
Well, now you're jumping into a further reality, because we've seen lures of people going like, hey, the island of the Amazons is here. So you have all of these other explorers too that's going to be trying to get to this island. The intruders that's going to come here. Who's going to pop up? Like, will we see Alexander the Great? Like, will we start like, where is this really set in time? And like, who's going to come? Will Caesar make an appearance to try to get to this island? And it's just like, when are these gods set? Is it set after the time of where they're not praised? Is it in the middle of their prayers where gods are just walking around and stuff like that? There's so many options to this being able to predate Wonder Woman, that this is one of those that are going to be able to stand on their own to continue to keep going. And it may not even necessarily need to tie anything in, just because of, like you said, the rich history it already possesses.
But now this makes me want to see the New Gods, which was canceled a couple years ago, that Ava DuVernay was supposed to be a part of, because now it makes me think, if you're doing Paradise Lost, we gotta see the New Gods, just because of the story aspect is so similar. But, you know, we shall wait and see, man. I loved it, though.
We shall wait and see, man. And we can keep talking DC
forever.
News forever. And we're going to keep getting into it for some new episodes. But, you know, these two cats are always very super busy, and I always appreciate their time coming in. And I don't want to keep them too much longer. So I want to thank both of y'all for stopping in, talking some DC shop with me. Looking very forward to seeing what James Gunn is going to bring to this universe. But we want to know from you, what are you most excited about from the DC announcement? Is it the Superman movie? Is it the Batman movie? Is it Swamp Thing, or some of the TV shows like Waller, The Lanterns, and Booster Gold? Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to. This has been another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. Make sure that you look below, because we got the handles there for this episode, so we can make sure y'all can stay tuned and update with what these talents are doing. And we will catch you next time.
Yeah.